What would you do if the woman you trusted with your entire life flinched at a stranger's name in a crowded airport, like she'd just heard a ghost call her out? It happened at Gate C-23 in Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, under those harsh fluorescent lights that make everything feel colder than it is. My wife stood beside me, gripping her carry-on just a little too tight. Then the overhead speaker crackled. Final boarding call for Daniel Reeves. Her hand slipped out of mine. Just slipped. Like she forgot I was even there. And in that moment, something inside me cracked. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly enough that no one else noticed, except me. Because I wasn't supposed to know who Daniel Reeves was. But somehow, I already did. And that was the moment I realized my marriage had been dead long before we got to that airport. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. It didn't start at the airport. It never does. It starts with little things. Late nights at work that didn't make sense. A phone turned face down on the kitchen counter. Laughing at messages she wouldn't show me. My wife, Emily, used to be warm, soft even. The kind of woman who would fall asleep with her head on my shoulder while we watched reruns in our apartment off McKinney Avenue. But somewhere along the way, she changed. And I noticed. Of course I noticed. You always notice. But I told myself I was imagining things. That stress at her marketing firm was getting to her. That distance didn't mean betrayal. Until the night I saw the receipt. It was tucked in the pocket of her coat. Cleaner's habit, I guess. A printed receipt from a boutique hotel in downtown Dallas. One night. 2 guests. Emily had told me she was at a late client dinner that night. I remember sitting on the edge of our bed, the receipt trembling in my hands, trying to convince myself there was some explanation. Some mistake. There wasn't. The next few weeks were torture. I watched her. Studied her. Every smile felt fake. Every kiss felt rehearsed. She stopped asking about my day. Stopped caring if I came home late. Stopped being my wife and started being someone else entirely. Cold. Distant. Careless. And then came the name. Daniel. It popped up on her phone one night when she was in the shower. Just a notification. No message preview. Just a name and a heart emoji. That was enough. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because something inside me had shifted. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was awake. And once you're awake, you start seeing everything clearly. I hired a private investigator. It felt surreal at first, like I was playing a role in someone else's life. Sitting across from a man in a small office off Elm Street, handing him a photo of my wife like she was a suspect. But within a week, I had everything. Photos of them entering hotels, holding hands in parking garages, laughing outside a restaurant on Main Street like they didn't have a care in the world. Daniel Reeves, mid-30s, sales executive, married. Of course he was. They always are. I thought seeing the proof would destroy me. Instead, it calmed me. Because now I knew. And knowing meant I could plan. Emily didn't think I knew. She walked around like she was untouchable. Like she had rewritten the rules of our marriage, and I was too blind to notice. She even started getting bold. Working late again, she'd say, barely looking at me. Don't wait up. And I didn't. Not anymore. Because while she was out playing her game, I was building mine. I met with a lawyer. A good one. The kind who doesn't just file paperwork. He strategizes. We documented everything. The receipts. The photos. The timeline. In Texas, infidelity matters. And I made sure it would matter. Then I found Daniel's wife. Her name was Laura. I didn't approach her immediately. I waited. Watched. Made sure I had everything lined up. Because revenge isn't about anger. It's about timing. And the perfect moment came at the airport. That trip Emily and I were taking? It was her idea. A reset, she called it. A chance to reconnect. I almost laughed. She didn't know I had already invited someone else on that trip. Laura. I found her waiting near the gate, exactly where we agreed. Nervous. Pale. Holding her phone like it might explode. She looked at me. I nodded. And then the announcement came. Final boarding call for Daniel Reeves. Emily froze. And that's when Laura stepped forward. Funny, Laura said, her voice cutting through the noise like glass breaking. Because my husband is supposed to be on that flight too. Emily turned. And when she saw Laura, everything unraveled. Her face went white. Who are you? Emily stammered. Laura held up her phone. Photos. The same ones I had. You've been sleeping with my husband, she said, her voice steady despite the tears in her eyes. People started staring. Whispers spread. And Emily, my confident, untouchable wife, started to crumble. She looked at me, desperate. Please, tell her this isn't. I didn't say a word. I just handed her the envelope. Divorce papers. Her hands shook as she opened it, eyes scanning the pages like she was trying to escape what was written there. You knew? She whispered. I nodded. For a while. The silence that followed was deafening. Daniel never showed up. Coward. But it didn't matter, because everything was already falling apart. Laura walked away first, tears streaming down her face, but her head held high. Emily tried to follow her, but I stepped in front of her. No, I said quietly. You don't get to chase her. You don't get to fix this. She broke then, right there in the airport, crying, begging, grabbing at my arm like she could pull me back into the life she had already destroyed. I made a mistake, she sobbed. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time, I felt nothing. No, I said. You made a choice. The divorce was brutal. For her. The evidence was overwhelming. The judge didn't hesitate. Assets split in my favor. Alimony denied. Her job found out too. Corporate image matters in her world. She didn't last long after that. Daniel's life collapsed just as quickly. Laura filed for divorce. His company let him go within weeks. Two people who thought they were untouchable. Reduced to nothing. As for me, I moved out of the apartment on McKinney. Found a small place in a quieter part of the city. No photos. No memories. Just space. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that moment at the airport. The way her hand slipped out of mine. The way everything ended without a single dramatic explosion. Just quiet realization. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. The best kind is silent. Precise. Final. And sometimes, it starts with a single name echoing through an airport. The end.